Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. You're not going to eat the toast then?
No.
I made toast for you. Why are you not going to eat the toast?
It's a beautiful toast, but I just don't feel like eating it. What would I eat? I'm going to eat this coffee here.
Which is the freeze-dried instant
It's horrible, isn't it?
SHIT coffee.
Yeah. Horrible.
There is no real coffee in the house. No real coffee in the house. I searched and I searched and I searched and I searched.
There probably is coffee, you just couldn't find it.
Well, where would it be hidden?
I don't know, but you have this strange ability. It's a talent, really. It's a talent
To sniff out the coffee.
to not be able to find anything
That's because there's so much.
when it comes to food.
People collect jars and jars and jars of strange stuff that they might at some point someday need and never need. And
That's why it's called preserves.
well, I look in the
Because
I look on the
preserved.
shelves and it's like there's so much stuff I can't see anything at all.
Wow.
But I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that
Coffee.
coffee packet, yeah. And there's no coffee anywhere.
I bet you when I come
The-
downstairs, I'll be like, oh look, but it's here. And
Oh,
it
it's
will
in
be
the
like
middle of the kitchen
right
table.
in front of your face.
I bet it's not. I opened the coffee container, and you know the empty feeling of seeing no coffee in the coffee container was devastating. I was devastated by that.
First world problems. Right?
third world problems.
First world problems. I was devastated. I had to drink instant coffee.
The Wi-Fi was down for 2 seconds. Oh my god!
Ah, I had no fresh ginger. Oh, there's no fresh ginger, by the way.
What? Did you use it all in your chutney?
No. It just didn't get bought.
It just didn't get bought. Where did it all go? Because I didn't eat it all.
I don't know.
Well,
I put some in my.
I'm the only person that eats the ginger, right? And I was well aware of the fact that there were a couple of, what do you call it, roots of ginger? I don't even know.
Bits, stubs.
That's horrible. That's like cigarettes. No. Stubs of clumps. Knots.
Yeah, whatever. There are none. There are none. That's the
There's
point.
no ginger in the house. There's no
It's
coffee.
frozen.
What?
There's frozen ginger. I put in the chutney some frozen ginger.
There's frozen ginger.
Yeah. It's
What?
frozen grated ginger. Because last time you were
Was it
here,
in the freezer?
you were like, I need a lot of ginger. So your parents bought like a lot of ginger. And then it didn't get eaten. And then you went away. And then they were like, the fridge is full of ginger, but nobody eats it. What are we going to do? So we peeled it. And we grated it. And we froze it.
I bet you had fun peeling it.
Great fun. I love peeling ginger.
I can imagine. Well, it's not exactly like an orange. Why do I feel like shit this morning?
Because you drank something yesterday.
I did, but I didn't drink a lot. I had 2 glasses of Bailey's, which is only 17%.
It's enough to make you shit. I mean, it's sweet like hell. And then you had the crisps.
Oh, what did I have? Like 2 handfuls of crisps? Hardly. What? That's hardly anything.
And also, you didn't sleep very well.
Because Jazz climbed into the bed and thought that I was a football.
I have an existential question.
What does that mean?
Why are we here? What are we doing? Why are we doing this?
Why are we in bed? Because it's warm?
Why are we talking into the microphones? Why do we think that people will listen to us talking into the microphones?
It's not so much about people listening to us. It's about communicating about things that are important. Well, do you think people will listen to you? Do you value your own opinion?
Well, no,
No.
not really.
Well, that's the answer to your own question, isn't it? If you don't value your own opinion, you're not really going to care about if other people listen to you or not.
Yeah, I don't really see what I'm giving
What are you doing with
to the
that dog?
people in this format. I'm clapping his ears. he's clapping.
Maybe you'll give more to the world by clapping the dog's ears than.
Like this.
And he won't see anything if you do that.
He's not supposed to see anything. He's supposed to smell things. Can't
The
you
ears
see the
are-
size of his nose?
Jesus
the
Christ!
ears
It looks
are-
like a space shuttle.
The ears are there to help him sniff. Didn't you know? That's why dogs have long ears, so they can
Must be a
sniff better.
problem if he's got a cold. Do dogs get colds? They must get colds.
I don't know. I guess they do of some sort.
Mm,
I've seen my dog sneezing.
yeah.
No, not this one. Obviously.
It's not a very proportionate kind of cuddly toy dog, is it?
That would be very distressing if this one started.
The legs are
sneezing.
too small.
Yeah, that's quite common with dogs.
What?
It's quite common with dogs. Have you seen the wiener dog?
Oh well, that's a special breed, isn't it? I mean, it's a kind of pointless, useless breed. I mean, it's like they've chopped the legs off so the dog can't run away.
But my dog that I used to have when I was a kid had tiny legs. My mother was so cruel. She would throw it in the water. She said, every dog needs to swim. She would throw the dog in the water. The poor dog would just slip to the shore and run away. Because dogs with short legs hate swimming. Because they've got short legs.
Yeah, it would be like
They can't really swim very well because they have nothing to paddle with. So it's this big fat dog with short legs.
it'd be just like throwing a sausage into the water.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of floated, but didn't like swimming.
Mm.
It's a dog. It must know how to swim. Look. Oh, poor dog. Anyway, this one does
How did
have
the dog
very
get in the
small
bed?
body. Well, guess.
Jasmine took it in the middle of the night into the bed.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So she was here and she was rolling around and she wanted me to make dab 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 dab. Ugh.
To talk to her. She wanted
Right,
you to talk
But
to her.
I don't know how to talk.
But you slept.
That's because it was the middle of the night. That's why.
Who cares? Who cares? When a girl needs to talk, she needs to talk. You're supposed to wake up and talk to her.
Yeah. Yeah. I was kind
No.
of tired yesterday. So that didn't happen. Did you take her back to her own bed or what
Yes.
did you do?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
In the middle of the night, she started kicking the duvet off, and I started to pull the duvet up, and she said, no, I don't want the duvet. And I said,
Oh, I remember now. It's coming back to me.
yeah, and I said, do you want to go to bed? And she said, yes. I mean, I said, your own bed. She said, yes, so I took her.
Uh-huh.
It's a cute dog.
It's
I can see why kids like it. It kind of fits into your hand.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's not the fact that it's kind of cute. It's the fact that it's kind of you can hold it and walk around with it and
Cuddle it.
cuddle it.
It has long legs. Ears. Short legs.
The head's too big,
It is.
obviously, as the head is bigger than the body.
The nose has no nostrils. Where does it breathe?
Well, mysteries of the universe.
I know.
There's probably a Discovery program on that.
This dog.
Not this specific dog, but
Dog's nostrils.
how dogs breathe. In the next episode, we will be studying the sniffing patterns of your favorite,
Breed.
yeah, four-footed friend or something like that.
The Scottish Deerhound.
Is there such a dog as a Scottish Deerhound?
Yes.
Is that the big one? Is that the one?
Yes, the one that looks like a deer, only shaggy
Is that the one
and
that's
grey.
like big like a horse?
Imagine this weather that's outside.
I don't have to imagine it. Just look out the window.
Well,
It's
imagine
terrible.
this grey weather that's outside turned into a dog. That's what Scottish Deerhound looks like. Looks like a grey day.
The weather.
Blustery. My friend has a Scottish Deerhound.
The weather turned into a dog.
It's a doggy weather. I have
That's
a picture.
funny.
I have a picture of a Scottish Deerhound in my phone, but my phone is half dead because it's got about 3% of energy in it. I'm not sure if I can turn it on still.
Why has it only got 3% of energy? Don't you charge it before you
I
go
should,
to sleep?
but I was too tired and I couldn't be bothered to stick it on a charger. So it's got 1% actually. I might turn off before I find it.
Did you watch the first episode of season 2 of The Flash last night?
God, I did. It
Yeah?
was so good.
Yeah?
Yes. I can't remember what happened.
I was just too tired. I had to.
It was great, but I
Go to
can't
sleep.
remember what happened. I have to get rid of all these pictures, put them in my put them in my Ona.
If it's great, how come you can't remember?
I can't remember. It was too good. I could
That
remember
doesn't
if
make
I
any sense.
I probably could remember if I tried. Tried hard, but I'm focusing on the Scottish Deerhound that I can't find.
You had a picture of your friend Scottish Deerhound.
Yes. It's a nice dog.
Mm,
Don't you take pictures of your friend's Scottish Deerhounds?
I don't take pictures of dogs in general.
Look.
Although I realise there's a whole complete fandom for such things out there. Is that a real picture?
Yes.
Really?
Well, it's a Pixar picture, but
Also, I was going to say, it looks like it's been doctored in some kind of way. That's a real picture.
oh, she's so great. Her name is Charlotte.
Charlotte the dog.
Yeah, she's really cool. She's totally crazy.
Um,
Totally crazy. Here she is.
cool and crazy and
She's
kind of not the
huge
same
as
thing.
well. She's huge. She's like that big.
How big is that big?
About that big. I don't know. I don't know. It's your country.
Was that
Tell me how many
me-
feet
was
did I
it-
just stack on top of each other? There.
Don't ask me about feet. That confuses me. Oh, he jumped 5 feet. I'm like, what? He's only got 2. How is that even possible?
I don't know. Is that like a meter and something?
I would say that's 1 meter.
He's about
35 centimeters.
She's about as tall as Zora.
Okay.
Maybe taller.
Okay. Zara keeps shooting up.
Yeah, I know. She's growing so fast. She's grown out of all her pants. I just told Elma yesterday. I said, Elma, we have to go shopping and get some leggings and stuff for Zora, because I've just realized it kind of hits you. You can't see it. You can't see that she's growing out of her pants, but it suddenly hits you when you look at her and you realize, oh look, I can see her ankles. That's probably not good.
She started to do her own thing now.
What do you mean?
Well,
She's always done her own thing.
Actually, you're right. You're right. That was a ridiculous statement.
She's the kind of kid that always done her own
She's
thing.
always done. Always done her own thing. Like,
She always
Yeah.
done her own thing.
yeah,
I know, my English is great, isn't it? It's just
Uh,
getting better and better here.
it is because the nature of Scottish English is that your knowledge of language can only improve if you stay here longer. Not.
I was just thinking, huh?
What? What is he talking about?
What?
Yeah, the fact that the fact that the local Facebook group is called Ut and a Boot.
That's great. I
Yeah.
like the local Facebook
And
group.
people are like, "Where's the boot?" I'm like, "Oh no."
No, they're not. Everybody knows what it means.
Yeah.
Oot and a boot.
How many people do you think went to that little folk concert last night?
I don't know. Everybody who has money, I suppose.
Yeah, I think £10 a ticket
It's a
to
lot.
see people that you don't know who look like people that you don't want to know.
I don't know. It seems a lot to me, but then I don't know. Maybe people make a lot of money here. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, look, you get, okay, let's say 10 people came, right?
Hmm?
Well, that's £100.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's nothing to sniff at, as they say. Right?
Well, yes, but
Well, that's okay.
do you think 10 people came?
Yeah, I would love to know.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of, you know, I sort of do this looking around on Facebook to see what's happening, and I always look to see if people post any photos or pictures or videos after events, because I think that's helpful and useful to let people know, you know, where to go and what to do.
Yeah, like, oh, it was great.
Yeah. And there's
And then next time you'll be thinking, oh, maybe I should go.
and there's zero. Even the people who like are organizing the event. You think that they'd promote their own event? Event. They'd vent. You think they'd vent more, don't you? Wouldn't you? Isn't it? Hello? Whatever. But you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
You would think that they would promote their own event, or even do like a little kind of Facebook Live video for like just 20 seconds or something, or you take some pictures, put them online, and say, "Oh, thank you to the local people for inviting us." And there's none of that. There's zero of that. The people who go don't take any pictures. The people who are running the event don't do any like real promo for it. And when you realize that someone has gone to the trouble of booking the people and making little posters for the event, and the people who are actually, you know, performing have gone to the trouble of performing and preparing their material and traveling here, and then they don't. It's like half a job. Like it's like they don't finish it. They don't do it because they want more people to come to their concerts.
Well,
right?
why don't you comment in the Ute and the Boot under the concert post
Sounds like a medical page.
and write a comment saying, you know, has anybody been here? Was it good? Should we come next time? We're considering coming to the concert, but £10 a lot, and we don't know if it's going to be any good.
Well, you can't even get like an MP3 of
Does anybody?
the people online. It's like if there was like, here's a link to their music. It's really good. Listen to this so that you can know something about them before
I'm
you
sure
come
you
to
could
the
YouTube.
concert.
You could YouTube Quigs, no?
What about the last group? I spent half an hour.
Did you try to YouTube
I
Quigs?
spent half an hour.
The Quigs.
The previous group that played. Yeah.
Oh, the Rowies.
I spent half an hour searching that name on the internet and got zero.
Rowdies?
Yeah, I got 0 hits. As there was 0. There was nothing. 0. Not a YouTube video. Not an MP3.
I
Not
have
an
a
article. Not a homepage.
I have a feeling that
Nothing.
people around here in general are not very good at web promotion yet, you know? Somebody's calling me.
Oh my gosh!
I have to
There's
go. I have to go.
you're required to attend to the voice that is crying. Mom, Mom. You can bring us through here. It's Jazz. It's Jazz. Jazz is crying out for more attention because she didn't get enough in the middle of the night, and apparently she was unhappy because I didn't wake up in the middle of the night and talk to her, because I needed to sleep. And of course, if you've ever had kids in your bed sleeping with you, you know that their comfortable position is not the same as your comfortable position, where you want to sleep top to bottom and they want to sleep left to right, or upside down, or without the covers, or rolled into a ball, or in a star shape, or in anything which is just it's leaving no space for anyone else in the bed. So, you know, that's what it's like having kids. Try having three kids kind of crashing in your bed. It's almost impossible to get a good night's sleep in that sense. Which is one of the reasons why I'm so tired this morning. Because if you don't get a good night's sleep, if you don't wake up with a clear head and a fresh perspective, it's kind of hard to start the day in the right way. So while Yanka is tending to the needs of the demanding kids, well, they're not really too demanding. They're just doing their own thing. We'll take a little pause and we'll start again when she comes back. And welcome back. You know, we're a bit late doing things today because I went back to sleep thinking that would be a good idea, and it wasn't.
I always think that in the morning, and it always isn't. But in the morning, it just looks like the best idea ever.
It does. And I thought that...
I was like, why shouldn't I sleep until 8 o'clock? I'm pretty sure I will manage to do everything during the day anyway. I'm a freaking Superman. Let's have another 2 hours of sleep. Or 3 or so.
Well, my thought was that I was pretty tired because I did a lot of things during the week, and that it would probably be good for my body if I had like another hour sleep. And it wasn't. I felt worse.
What?
I went back to sleep and I felt worse when I got up.
Really? I always feel better when I feel great. I always feel great when I have a lot of sleep.
Do you feel great now?
I feel marvelous.
That's fantastic. Look, it's raining.
Good. That's good.
Again.
All good.
It's rain again. Oh no.
You don't understand.
Wasn't that a line in a Eurythmics song? And that singer was, Annie Lennox singer was Scottish, right? So,
and his name was Rain.
No, Here Comes the Rain Again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is funny that she was Scottish. She was singing about the rain. It's funny because look, it's the rain is being driven by the wind horizontally.
But you don't understand. You keep bitching about the rain. Everything about this country, everything about this country on this island is what it is because of the rain. You don't understand, but the rain makes this whole place the place that it is.
And the rain makes hay, and the hay makes whiskey.
Exactly.
Do you make whiskey from hay? Don't think you do make whiskey from hay. I don't think that's right. It's absolutely not correct.
I'm not sure the rain makes hay either. Anyway.
Corn.
Oh, right.
That's
well,
what
there you go.
Just made a big tit of myself there. And the rain makes corn, and the corn makes whiskey. Who did that? I'm sure that's a song.
No, but seriously, I mean, Scotland is beautiful, right? Ask anyone who doesn't live in Scotland what they think about Scotland, and
they say, I don't know because I don't live there.
They'll be like, oh my god, Scotland is so beautiful. I mean, every middle-aged woman has her eyes peeled on the telly watching the Rosamunda Pilcher stories, which are all based in UK somewhere, UK village.
Yorkshire, North Yorkshire, on the moors.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
That's because it's so beautiful around here, right? Seriously, this country is seriously beautiful. And then you've got the Scottish skies, with all those clouds and
clouds are not beautiful
all
things.
those beautiful sunsets. And you
Dude.
don't get sunsets that beautiful elsewhere because there's not so many clouds and the sky doesn't have such a depth and dimensions that it does here. It's just it's this place is what it is because of the rain. You've got the grass, you've got everything is beautifully green, you've got these flowers, and you have these huge, massive, ancient trees growing everywhere.
Yeah, but California has that too.
No, it doesn't. It only has green grass if you sprinkle it with a water hose every day.
Well, what's wrong with that?
It's wasting water.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. There's already more than enough water on this planet. Most of the planet is water. And look outside the bloody window, right? There's nothing but water being chucked down out of the sky.
The 1% of the planet's water is drinkable water. I'm going to throw you in the middle of the ocean, and when you're dying of thirst in 5 days, I'm going to tell you, oh, don't be ridiculous. There's water everywhere around you.
Just take a water filter with you then, for God's sake. You know, that you can get these little machines that filter the water for you, so they make the water drinkable.
Oh, that's great.
Guaranteed you don't want to, be drinking that kind of water forever, but, it's enough.
Anyway, it's ridiculous. No,
No,
I
the
don't
only
want
thing
to.
ridiculous is the weather.
I don't want to go back to Slovakia and be scorched and have all the grass around me.
Scorched. When was the last time you were I'm so unhappy that I got scorched today.
And have all the grass around me yellow and prickly because you can't grow grass because it's bloody 40 degrees.
It's so
during the
uncomfortable
day.
when I can't sit down because the grass is too sharp.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
it is prickling your bum. Absolutely, and you can't walk around barefoot. You cannot walk around barefoot in Slovakia at all because in the winter it's too cold, in the summer it's too hot. You can't walk.
Okay, nobody wants to walk around barefoot in winter anywhere for a start, right? That's the first thing.
Well, you would if it wasn't minus 20.
The second, yeah, that's like saying you wouldn't be wearing a jacket if it wasn't raining.
Exactly.
Yes, that's obvious, but like we would go to the outdoor swimming pool in the summer, right?
We would, that's true, yes.
And that required walking around barefoot, and it didn't seem to be a problem for anyone except Will, who can't walk.
Well, not on the grass, even though the grass was pretty sharp.
Pretty sharp.
Well, yes, because it was dried out.
Yeah, I'd like to make a complaint about the grass. It's too sharp.
And you couldn't walk on the little path because it was too hot. Because the asphalt gets like super hot.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, there was this old asphalt road in front of my grandfather's house, which is now my mother's house. Mm-hmm. And it was made out of old asphalt and tar and stuff. And that
and the bones of dinosaurs.
And the tar, or what you call it, I don't know you call it.
I don't know what material they use.
Black stuff, right? In the summer, used to get so hot, it would make little bubbles. It would melt, and it would make bubbles. And we used to walk around on that melted sidewalk, right? And we would leave footprints, and it would stick to your shoes at the bottom of your shoes. So you get black shoes on the bottom. And we would walk around with these dried out yellow pieces of grass. And we'd be popping the bubbles with it. And we'd play with it, and we would, like scoop it up with a stick and roll it up into a ball. And we had like black fingers because we were rolling up asphalt balls out of the sidewalk. It was so hot. So
you were rolling up the sidewalk, basically.
Yes, into little asphalt balls. Yeah.
It's the asphalt ball game. Yeah.
That's my childhood. That's
that's what kids do.
One of those memories.
That's what kids do. Yeah. They find some obscure way to play with whatever is left in their environment.
Making footprints in the asphalt. That was great.
I spent hours throwing tennis balls onto the roof.
What?
I spent hours throwing tennis balls onto the roof of the house as a
Right.
kid.
Well, in the garden, I imagine, not out front.
Oh, not from the front because there's a road in front, but
That would be
around the
weird.
back. But it was just cool because the tennis ball would bounce and then it would fall down and you would catch it and then you'd throw it up and it would
Didn't
bounce
knock the
and fall.
slates off.
No, it didn't. Slates are more sturdy than
They look.
they look, than you would believe.
I would be worried that that might not.
No, seriously, I mean, considering the weather of, considering the storms of the week, which I swear were storms, even though everybody's saying, well,
It's just windy.
it's just windy. Yes, I can play football against myself. It's just windy. Yes, okay. But considering that weather and none of the houses have any problems.
You could spit into
if
your own
you've
face.
noticed. You could spit into your own face.
Yes.
Why? Why would you even? Why don't you just turn around the other way? Was it a game? Did you do that when you were a kid?
Well, you can't do it in Slovakia. You can't spit in your own face.
Why is it illegal?
There's not enough wind.
It's a different kind of wind. But it is. It's a different kind of wind. Don't spill your coffee.
You weren't there when Will was talking the other day at lunch around the table in the dining room about his favorite movie.
What is his favorite movie? I don't even know.
The Underpants guy. What's his name?
Captain Underpants.
Captain Underpants. And he was talking about it and he said, and they made this funny joke about the planet. And he started to proceed about Uranus.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Will, stop it.
It
And
must have been funny though.
And he said, okay, I won't say it. And then Zora from the other side of the table started to go, Uranus! I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it's out there. And then Will got all kind of encouraged by Zora's outbursts.
Mm-hmm.
And he joined in and just said, and it's a gas giant, Babka. Babka did laugh.
Trust kids to tell the truth.
Yeah. No, she didn't laugh. She chuckled. She tried to. She tried to look serious.
She chuckled. It's great how kids can break the ice just by saying whatever is
whatever is the most
inappropriate.
inappropriate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, they do. I mean, that's what kids do. Like
Maybe that.
Jazz falling asleep face down in the carpet last night.
Well, at the what do you call it? I don't speak today. What do you call that place where the
That's
planes
okay.
land?
An airfield, an airport.
Like Will talking to people at the airport saying, my dad had his car stolen by my granddad.
Did he tell that story at the airport?
He did last year.
Yeah.
When it happened, told it to everybody.
Oh, well, he was going through a phase, right? He was going through a phase. And once again, the distant calls of Mom! 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 And we have to tend to the children. They have to tend to them. They need our attention. It is something that you must do as a parent. As a parent, you must be prepared to give all your time and all your energy and all your attention to the kids. Because the idea was, with this irrelevant podcast, that we would get up early and do it early. But we were both so tired this morning from the ridiculousness of yesterday that neither of us could get out of bed this morning. And by morning I mean like 5. I'm supposed to get up at 5. And I didn't get out of bed until 7. So I missed 2 hours. I lost 2 hours. 2 hours I'm never going to get back. They will never return. So I've got this Clint Eastwood voice this morning. I know what you're thinking. Has he fired 6 shots or only 5? So there we go. Yeah, Yanka disappeared earlier to look after the kids, to check on the kids, and she came back with. She said I wasn't hungry before. Did that go on the podcast? I don't even know. She said she wasn't hungry. She didn't want the toast I brought her, and she returned with the largest bowl of cereal I have ever seen. Oh, good morning, Jazz. Oh, have you got a kiss for Daddy? Good morning, kiss for Daddy.
Ooh, there's my doggy.
There's your doggy, yeah. You got your cars, and you got your doggy, and...
This is named Pickle.
Oh, you called the car Pickle. That's a great name for a car. And
This is Stripes.
Stripes. That's a great name for a car.
Oh,
Oh, one of them is driven away. So there's Pickle, and there's Stripes, and
and here's Blaze and Crusher.
Blaze and Crusher. Wow. It looks like you can have a party with those cars. Yeah,
Jasmine loves her cars.
she does. She does. Do you have a garage for them? Do you have a garage for your cars?
No,
No?
I don't.
She doesn't. But there.
Do you need to?
How are you feeling this morning, Jazz?
Fine.
That's wonderful.
She's fine.
That's wonderful.
Do you need to use the loo?
No.
Have you got some plans for your day, Jazz? What would you like to do today? She's thinking. She's thinking.
I still have this.
She wants to play the top trumps.
Ooh, Top Trumps Paw Patrol.
Come
Paw
on.
Patrol, Paw Patrol.
Can I see?
No,
This is the end.
Ooh, I see.
that's
Looking
That's
good.
why we need to do this thing earlier. This is what happens. The whole point of getting up early was before the kids got up.
The picture.
But now the
is
kids
the
are up.
end.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
That means
Well, we did quite a long time. Maybe we should just.
No, I don't know. Well, the idea was I wanted to do an hour.
and rubble,
I wanted
rocky, and sky. That's all of it.
No?
Okay. Well, would you like me to put my headset onto Jazz and you can interview her?
Jazz. Well, in my experience, the moment you put a headset on a child, they instantly stop talking.
That's true.
For some reason, which
I
makes
want to watch Paw Patrol.
she wants to watch.
Paw
Paw
Patrol,
Patrol,
Paw
Paw
Patrol,
Patrol,
be there on the double.
Paw Patrol, Paw Patrol, whenever you're in trouble.
That's what
Darling, you have to
No,
you have to
Johnson,
wait for
big
5
no,
minutes,
Johnson as
okay?
well.
We have to finish with Daddy and then we can put on Paw Patrol. Okay? I can open this for you and you can play with the cards, yeah?
She can play with the cards.
Hey, how
That's a
about
good.
you play with me?
I'll play
Oh.
with you when I'm finished with this, okay? 5 minutes.
I will leave this open.
All right.
Or
You sort out the cards first, okay? Put them into little piles according to which characters where. Put the super pups together.
Okay.
Okay.
what are the she leaves the door open. What are the super pups? I didn't get that
I
from
don't know.
the game because they've got like the normal characters, and then these cards that are super pups. So
I don't
what's-
know. I think there were super pups in one of the episodes. They were like playing superheroes or something.
Those Top Trump cards are so cool.
And I think that they just put those super pups there because they needed more cards and they didn't have enough characters.
Hmm
You know.
So that's like the hero dogs when they were pups.
No,
No.
they're all pups.
They're all pups, even the big ones.
They're all good pups, and they save the day. Now it's time to play in the adventure bay. Yeah, they're all pups.
Okay. So we don't know why they're super pups.
I just told
Just
you, I
pups.
think they played superheroes in one of the episodes or something like that, and they were super pups. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So that
Not sure, but I think it was part of one of the episodes. Maybe more than one, I don't know.
But the top trump cards are so cool.
Yeah, all of the top trump cards are so cool.
Yeah,
Very cool. Yes, you were right. You were right about Zora. She learned her double-digit numbers like nobody's business. She knows all of them now.
She learned it from one game of top trumps.
Well, she still has a problem with the teen numbers, with the ones that begin with number 1.
1 teen, 2 teen, 3 teen. What?
No, the from 10 to 20.
20 teen, 10 teen,
Shut up.
teen spirit.
Anyway, so she still has a problem with those, but she knows all the other ones pretty well.
Yeah, because she made a couple of little mistakes, but I think she said something like 40-0 instead of 40.
Yeah.
But the moment I said no, it's just 40, she got it instantly and didn't make a
But
mistake.
she's got the age to do that. I mean, when Will was her age, right? Because he was the oldest child, he got all the attention and all the training and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that back then as well. You know, I think that we're forgetting a little bit that she can be further than she already is.
Yeah, it's the jumps that I notice. Yeah,
it's the younger sibling, right? Because you always perceive the younger sibling as young, and you don't realize they're not young anymore. Well, they are, but they're not as young as you think them to be. And she's already much further than we think she is. Sometimes.
The reading skill needs to progress a little bit faster, but it's not bad.
You can't really force it, though.
I'm not talking about forcing it. I'm just talking about making it.
She'll get there.
About paying attention
She'll
to that
get
area.
There. It's the difficult stage. She's at the difficult stage right now, where you know the letters, but you need to be able to put them together. And William struggled with that as well. So.
Well, the non-phonetic nature of the English language is a bitch for learning, right? You know, when you you learn the sounds of the letters, and then you're like, but when we put these letters together in this in this way, none of the letters have these sounds.
The funny thing is that Will picked that up very quickly. Mm-hmm. I was always scared of teaching those rules, like when you put the E at the end, the vowel in front of it becomes long, right? How do you teach a child that? But he picked it up like very quick. You know, it's intuitive. I have to correct him a few times, but he picked it up easier than I thought. I thought it's extremely difficult to learn, and obviously it wasn't.
It's just it's repetition and immersion, because you're living in the environment of it. You pick up things much faster because you're much more aware, and kids are hyper aware anyway. So the learning speed. If you could learn your whole life at the same speed as you learn when you're a child, then it would be pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
It would be pretty wild and pretty crazy.
Even between the ages 20 and 30, there's such a difference. You're still able to learn when you're 20, and then when you're 30, you're like, my brain's not working anymore.
Well, I think that it's almost like the system gets clogged up and blocked with all the information that you've got. It's almost like you need
It's
to
that you often stop learning as well.
erase.
And if
Oh
you
look, it's
stop
raining
learning-
again. It stopped for 2 minutes and then it started again.
And if you stop learning the same way that you learned at school, you just lose the hang of it. But then nobody learns the same way we learned at school naturally, so
Well, school's not a natural
I mean,
environment.
you don't
Therefore-
read about something interesting and think, oh, that's interesting, I'd like to learn that, so I'm going to learn it. I'm going to read it 10 times more, and then I'm trying to going to try and repeat it in my head by heart, because that's how you learn. It's not really how you learn, is it?
Well, as a training for your memory, memorization of a poem or a short story or something, that's theoretically useful. But what makes a story interesting is when you don't repeat exactly the same thing in the same way every time. What makes a story interesting is the variations, changing it depending upon who the audience is or what your environment is or how you feel at the time. Because if the story is repeated in exactly the same way every time, then there's no progression.
We're going to work with William on this project today and tomorrow. I told him that we can work on it during the weekend.
What's the project?
It's the cars. The speed.
What?
It's the cars project. It's working on the cars project.
Help me. What?
Well,
help?
he wants to drive those cars.
Oh, okay, the
His
cards.
birthday.
Okay.
So he's working on the cars. And he chose to do a project on speed.
Mhm.
And he wrote down some questions. And we're going to do the research today. And then we're going to work on the project. It'll be a surprise.
He
You will like it. We've got a plan. We've got a secret plan. Ha ha ha.
well,
Really cool.
that's cool. You can get some YouTube documentaries about that as well. I'm sure if you
Uh-huh.
YouTube the history of speed, there'll be
Mhm.
something there. Or the history of the land speed record, or something like that. It also connects to Flash as well, because Flash was about speed.
Yeah, right. And we were talking about this, and I said, well, do you think there is a car that could go faster than the speed of sound? And
Yeah.
Will said, no, I don't think so, Mom, because in Flash they said that was about 600 miles an hour. And I said, was it? So we Googled it, and we found out how fast was the speed of sound, and it was about 700, I think. I can't even remember. It's like 722 miles per hour or something like that. I don't know. So we Googled it, and we had a look at it, and I was like, yeah, you're probably right. I don't think there's a car that can go that fast.
Well,
But planes can, and then we were talking about why planes fly and cars don't, and I was asking him if there are any features that make sure that cars stay on the ground when they're going really fast. They don't just fly off the track.
yeah, because like a plane begins to take off at like about 160 miles per hour. Depends on your plane, right? But
Okay.
around about that, yeah.
Okay.
And if you look at those NASCAR races with the
Mhm.
NASCARs, sometimes they're doing like 220 miles per hour.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so, that's it's an interesting contrast.
Yeah,
that
it's interesting.
in the
physics.
NASCAR, they have to design the cars to keep them on the ground,
Yeah.
which is the opposite of what they're doing with the plane designs.
Yeah. That was my point. I was like, how do you make sure that the car doesn't fly off?
That's
Could there be a flying car?
Well, that's you see it in the accidents, right? When there's an accident, the cars instantly take off from the ground
Mm-hmm.
because there's nothing to keep them down
Mhm.
anymore. It's also really hard with the G-forces on the drivers as well
Hmm.
in that. So yeah, it all connects together.
Your
It all
dad was
connects.
telling me a story about how he saw a plane crash.
Who?
Your dad.
What?
He was telling me a story how he saw a plane crash, and he said that one of the military planes
What?
that
When?
was long time ago. Okay, it
Mhm.
was one of those long time ago stories, and
Once upon a time.
he said that
Not so long
the plane
ago.
crashed, but the driver, what do you call him, the pilot, shot himself out. But he said the G-force, when you shoot yourself up, it's so strong that it
You mean you
compresses your
you
body.
mean ejected.
Yeah.
Shoot yourself out.
You know what I
Shoot
mean.
yourself in the
Eject,
head.
yes.
What?
And he said that the G-force is so strong when you eject yourself from that flying plane that it compresses the body. And he said that the guy had to spend like a month in a hospital or how long, I don't know, just getting back to his normal shape because
Yeah,
he'd be like
yeah.
a few inches shorter
Yeah,
after that.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
His
the
spine
pressure.
would just go.
Yeah,
crushed.
that's, you know, it. If the crash doesn't kill you, it's possible that the
Ejection well.
ejection will permanently damage you.
Yeah.
So they haven't quite figured out how to make that any safer yet, because you have
I
to.
can't imagine how it could be any safer to eject yourself out of a flying, crashing, burning plane.
Well, you remove yourself
It's
from
not exactly
the
the
crash, don't you?
Yeah, I mean it's not exactly the safest thing to do to jump out of a plane, basically.
Yeah, but then people do weird stuff. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
flying a plane is not exactly a safe thing
It's
to
probably
do.
safer than crashing in the plane.
Probably, yes. I remember watching a YouTube compilation of accidents at air shows.
Oh
Yeah,
God!
I know, scary, right?
Whoever makes these compilations.
I don't know.
It's a
What
bit
obviously
morbid.
people are. Well, it was kind of a warning that it's still not safe, right? People think they've got the handle on the technology, that they know what's going to happen and that they know how it all works, and they don't, right? They don't.
Well, you can always have a technical fault, I suppose.
Yeah, that's for sure. Oh, look, it's a flying. Is that a unicorn or a horse?
It's a pony.
Pony. It's a flying pink pony. Ooh, save my coffee. It has got pink on it, doesn't it?
It's got a pink mane.
Yeah.
And it has white tail and
There's flowers on its butt.
white. There's white front here and a white back right here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking at that tail and I'm thinking it might be a donkey. It's a donkey's tail. It's not a horse tail.
You're right. It's a pony with a donkey tail.
Uh-huh.
No, it's a pony. Only a pony.
Ah,
Ponies
okay.
have tails.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's true. Ponies have tails. But I think donkeys also have tails. Remember Eeyore in Winnie the Pooh? I think that he had... Oh, no, he does not just pick the one donkey.
He kept losing his tail.
It's the one donkey in the world that doesn't have a tail. Okay.
He had a
Well,
tail.
he just lost it.
He had it nailed to his bum.
That's just a weird thing. That's
Mhm.
just a weird thing to have. Yeah. So, what do you think were the highlights of the week this week for the kids? Because the original idea was to focus a little bit on parenting.
The highlights
So-
of the week.
the
The
kid.
football practice getting cancelled.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's obviously a piece of ridiculousness.
No, I don't know. Willie's getting better in his writing and he's getting more comfortable with it. He doesn't moan every time he has to write one word. You know, he's now at the stage where he can write things and he doesn't moan about it. Although he was trying to look at for the shortest possible sentences. When we were writing things down, I said, hey, it'd be interesting to research this, and he said, oh, Mom, it's too long to write. Yeah, but it's getting better.
I don't want to take his color off.
Okay.
But
He
I
likes
don't know how.
he likes doing his math drill. He finds it fun. He finds it fun to do his multiplication.
Well, that's cool.
Um,
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just circling
Don't
back.
put
I
it
was
back on.
I was
Okay.
surprised how helpful the top trumps cards were in the mathematics of things,
Mhm.
with the counting and the numbers and the colors and the
And he made up that
gameplay.
game for himself where he has to
Yeah, he made up his
count.
own card game.
where he has to add up stuff. So that's good.
That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
And his enthusiasm to play it without there being any specific rules to it
Yes.
was kind of interesting, and I played it and I actually quite enjoyed it, even though it was chaotic and there was no order to
It was
it.
very
and,
simple. Yeah. But
uh,
I liked it as well. It was the kind of kids game. Like, let's make up everything. Let's make up everything as we go along.
Yeah, I'm like, is this money? And he's like, no, this is a piece of junk. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yes, but you can bet the piece of junk.
Ah, right. There we go.
You never know which is money and which
Yeah,
is
yeah, I couldn't
'cause
tell
he had
what was what.
you had a pile of money, which were pieces of Lego, and then you had a pile of artifacts, which were pieces of Lego.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were betting, you had to bet some money
Mm-hmm.
and an object.
Mom, I want to watch Paw Patrol the Super Pups.
Okay,
Yeah.
darling, give me a second.
We're not sure
yeah?
which one that is. Do you know which one that is, darling? The Super Pups one.
I know where it is.
Yeah,
Which
is that
one?
where they become superheroes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And they save it.
yeah.
And they save the bunnies into the dark cave.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Jazz, you know, you're my superhero.
No,
No? You don't want to be my superhero?
the pups are the superheroes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That means I know where they are.
Mm-hmm.
I know where the Paw Patrol Super Pups are.
You know, I'm always amazed at what works in life and what is successful in Paw
Coming,
Patrol is
Jazz. Give us 5 secs.
just another example of
Mm?
just
It's gonna take a whole hour. I know we're so slow, aren't we?
mm,
We're so slow. We're almost finished, darling.
oh, we are. We've done
I
it.
wanted to say I found
almost done
a
an hour.
website that's called a coder dojo because I think that we should start doing some coding.
That's a nice idea. I don't know a lot about coding, but I'm aware that
That's
there's a
why-
future in it.
That's why he has to, we don't know anything about it, but I know he has to do it because it's like learning the alphabet this day and age. So I found this website which is called the Coder Dojo, and they make free. Volunteers doing free courses for kids. And I've registered with them to send me a notification when things are happening in Elgin, because they've got things happening in Elgin regularly as well, apparently, or in Forres, or was it Findhorn? I can't remember. And just there's nothing on in September, but I'm hoping there'll be something on in October or November. They always let you know like a month ahead, so you don't really know.
So these are like coding groups for kids.
Yes, they're like
Okay.
coding meetups where they teach kids to code.
That sounds
And
interesting.
yeah, and also I have seen a lot about Minecraft, and
As he's trying to turn off the phone.
that kids that it's something that kids start with when they're learning to code,
Mhm.
because it has some kind of, I don't know anything about Minecraft, but it has like modes or whatever that are like different difficulties or whatnot, and you
Yeah, I've seen.
can code in it.
There are actually people who there are people who make live streams of their own coding for games. They have live streams where you can watch them code
Ooh,
in real time. There's
Yeah.
actually a market for that.
wow.
Believe that?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, and that includes Minecraft as well.
So it's like a
There's
different,
live streams
it's like a
of-
completely different universe for me that I do not understand at all, and that I cannot teach anything about, right? But I understand that it's important and necessary to know these days.
Yeah.
So like I can teach them how to use word processor, but that's not where that's outdated, right? That's not the
Yeah, well,
the
you
main
don't,
thing
you don't
that
need to
you
teach
learn.
people directly if you know people who can teach those things, right? I mean,
yes,
that's,
yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
it's
So
okay to employ coaches and
I started
tutors.
looking for things like that. So if you look as well and find any info about it, I thought that you might be able to understand this topic more than me, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, there's a billion websites about coding, and there's I've
Yes, but
seen advertised online like free coding stuff and
Yes,
coding
but
for kids.
the thing is that
yada,
you have
yada.
to find something that is really child friendly, because they're not gonna. And I was thinking that maybe we should research Minecraft, in terms of coding, because I know
Mhm.
that there are different ways that you can play with it. I mean, there's obviously stupid way that you can play with it, and then
Yeah.
there's intelligent way that you can play with it. So I thought that if we research intelligent way of playing with Minecraft and learning coding through it,
Mhm.
it might be a good beginning for Will to just give it to him and let him explore it by himself, because we can't do shit with it,
Uh-huh.
right?
Okay. I just had a thought.
I know
right?
you have to
Y-
pay for it, but I thought might be a good thing.
You know he likes playing that Star Wars game, yeah?
1 sec.
Oh,
Yes.
oh.
Ow, ow, ow.
Your ears are the wrong shape. Anyway, you know he likes playing that Star Wars
Ow. Yeah.
game.
Yes.
Trying to hurt yourself. He hasn't in the last week said anything about it. Like before, he was like, "Can I play it? Can I play it? Can I play it?" And then all last week, he hasn't said anything about it at all.
Mhm.
I was wondering why he didn't say anything about it.
Perhaps because his computer is broken.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, that explains that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh well.
He did say when his computer got broken, he did say, "Oh my gosh, I hope that all my progress didn't disappear, and if it disappeared," and he said, but maybe, Mom, maybe if it's not the disk that is broken, then my progress could still be saved on the disk." And I said, "Well, I have no idea, I'm sorry." Maybe we could save the hard disk from the computer, and then all my progress would be saved. I said, "I don't know. Well, I'm going to have to discuss it with somebody who knows what they're doing." Yes?
Jazz, what's the story?
What's up?
There's something in my nappy.
Yep.
There's
I
something in your nappy.
I can smell the nappy from here.
Can I see? Can I have a look? See if I can find
Can I
something
have a
in your
look?
nappy.
Can I see? Please?
I wish you could.
Please?
Turn around.
What's the story?
Thank you.
Do.
Let's see what's in your nappy.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay. So just pee?
There we go.
Thank goodness.
That's,
Okay. Just pee.
that's it. So, she's super happy now. Stumbling
girl.
around like a naked cave person, right? As kids do. As kids do.
That's what kids are.
You know what?
Mm.
Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Well, let me guess. The good news is it stopped raining. The bad news is it started raining again.
That's almost correct. The good news is that we've done something constructive today already. The bad news is
Is it?
it's 9:20, and if we want to get to the local village market,
Oh.
then we're gonna have to
Swim.
order a boat. Wonder if you can Uber a boat. Probably not here.
Uber a boat. Maybe in Venice.
maybe. Yeah, you never know. I don't know if we're going to go to the village market today, or we're going to skip it because we missed the first couple of hours of the day by being lazy and returning to snooze land.
And talking about unconsequential things.
Unconsequential things? You never know. That's the argument. The argument is you never know what's going to make an impact.
I do. It's not. I know what's not going to make an impact.
Thank you for agreeing with me.
I'm trying not to be negative. No, I'm not trying. I'm not trying to be negative. Is what I was trying to say. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just.
It's the same thing.
I'm just wondering.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, seriously. I mean, what's the point of this? Because I don't think it's consequential, as I said. I don't think there's any value through giving
Well,
to the world. Through
there will be no
talking.
value if you. There will be no value if you if you think there's no value in it. That's the first thing to
I
understand.
can create
right?
value, but not in this format.
Why? What's wrong with this format?
I don't. It's just. I don't know. It's
You
just
don't want to
talking.
create value in any format like
It's
this.
just
You
talking. I
do
mean, if
always-
somebody wants to hear people talking, they can just go to the pub and just listen to people talking. You know?
No, but beer's expensive. What about just keeping it real? I mean, that's the whole point. The whole point is to create a record of a real experience with real thoughts about real situations. It's all real. I mean, it's not that any of the information is expected to change the world, but it is important in the sense of let's realize the point that we're at with where we are and what we're doing in terms of parenting, in terms of family, in terms of organization, and the fact that maybe you feel like you don't want to do it is interesting because there's no other way of monitoring the process. There's no other system in place. It's like, I don't want to do this, and so the alternative is going to be I'm not going to do anything because the
It's the whole.
alternative
I
is
think
nothing.
it's the whole thing about monitoring and registering and recording and filing away and whatever, which just seems completely futile to me. It's
Well,
like,
well,
look,
well-
I'm just living my life. I mean, right? Let's just live it. Why do we have to record and file and make the progress reports or whatever
This
you
is
want to call
not-
it? You know?
Okay, this is recording, but this is not essentially filing and making progress reports. It's not that.
I know,
It's-
but it's do you understand me? What I'm
I
trying to
understand
say?
your fear. I understand you have a fear.
I don't have a fear.
You do have a fear of it.
Oh, you're just making stuff up now.
I'm not making stuff up.
If I had a fear, I would tell you I had a fear. I don't like it when you start analyzing my emotions and you get it completely wrong, and then you say, "Oh, just because you don't want to admit it." No, I don't have a fear. I don't have a fear at all. I just don't see the point.
Perhaps there is a point that you don't realize yet. I'm not saying that that your perspective is invalid. What I'm saying is that you get the point that I made about Paw Patrol earlier, right? Isn't it it's amazing what takes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what interests people. There's some things that perhaps you would think, oh, maybe that is maybe not such a good idea or an unusual thing, or as somebody pointed out to me this week, there are like social groups for people who only want to knit with green colors, as a weird example. Or there are
think
YouTube
Jack
pages
relates
with like 500,000 subscribers that focus on the mating patterns of ants or
I have to go.
things like that, right?
I have to go.
So
Somebody's calling me. I think I have to go.
yeah. Well, I think that the point is just to be real about things.
I think it's
Because-
a bit. I find it a bit narcissistic. Like, let's talk and let's record ourselves and let's throw it out on the world because people will think it's interesting. Well, I'm like, it's not.
Look, wait! I haven't said that. Wait! That's a fabrication. There.
I know. I know.
That's
I
a
didn't say
fabrication. I
that.
haven't said
I know you
that
didn't
other
say
people
that.
are going to find it.
I know you
interesting.
didn't. Oops.
You're pulling the cables. The siren wail of the child who is waiting in the bathroom for a parent to attend their needs. Scream until someone listens, right? If it is that someone listens. I think one of the reasons for doing things is that you need to be aware of what's happening around about you. You need a focus. And I think that most people are not focused, and there's no accountability for what it is that they're experiencing, or what it is that they're feeling, or for what it is that they want to do. And this is the only way that we have of being truly accountable, because in any other sense of the situation, my experience of life is that people turn around and say, that didn't happen, or I didn't say that, or I didn't do that for some reason, or whatever, and it's really, really hard to stay sharp and focused on all the important things. And this is one of the very few ways that it is possible for human beings, through recording audio or video, to be fully accountable, just being themselves. And it's actually really important in life to be accountable to being yourself, because if you want to have success and progress in life, you've got to do what it is that you say that you're going to do. You've got to be objective. You've got to have a plan. You've got to know where you're going. You've got to be able to analyze what it is that you're doing. You have to have all of those skills in place in order to have any level of success in anything.
I look at things more from that Buddhist mandala point of view. You know?
I'm listening.
How they make the, I don't know if it's Buddhism or whoever does that, but you know how they make those mandalas, right, out of sand.
Remind me what a
and they
mandala
spend,
is.
It's an
the
intricate picture,
picture,
yes.
yeah.
And they made it out of sand, and they spent days and days and days and days making it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they let the wind just blow it away, right? And they don't take a freaking picture before it happens, right? And
well, that's why those people are not able to achieve much.
And that's my way of doing things, basically. You know, be present in the moment, do things in the moment. You don't have to record it. You don't have to.
No, but you see, the only reason that you know about the mandala is because somebody had the awareness to record it. That's the only reason you know about it. If somebody hadn't had the awareness to make a video of it and, you know, edit it and put it on Facebook, or take nice pictures of it to record the process, if somebody hadn't had the awareness to do that, you wouldn't even know about it. So
that's
the whole
okay,
fact that you know about it is because somebody took the time to make a record of things.
That's
and
fine.
Making a record of things is the only way that you can objectively judge any progress in life. There's no other way to do it.
And that's somebody else's thing that they want to do. It's not necessarily my thing.
Okay, well, look at it this way, right? You want to create a mandala. You want to create a work which is going to get blown away. Is that right?
No.
Well, that's what you described.
That's not what I said.
No, but that's what you said. You see it as that same process.
I said I see life as that same process, as being in the moment. Not necessarily leaving.
Yeah, but the mandala is a really bad example, because
leaving
there's no
a track behind. Not exactly leaving a track of records behind.
If you've got something to give to the world, I think we've all got something to give.
I'm giving it every freaking day.
We're all giving every day. It's not just related to, you know, one person. It's related to everybody.
Yes, I know. And that's what I'm saying. You know, I don't need to keep a track of it. I'm doing it, right?
But the thing is that you don't know if you need to keep a track of it or not, because you don't live in the future yet. Nobody does. So nobody really knows what is going to be the element that creates the success for themselves in their lives.
Yes, but that doesn't mean I'm going to do something that I don't want to do, or something that I don't find important, just in case in the future I realize that I should have done it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what all that means when you put it together.
It means I'm going to continue living the moment and
Well, you're in the moment right now. I mean,
do
this
it
is...
the way I'm doing it without necessarily stopping and thinking, "Oh, I should sit down and I should create a record out of this," because just to leave a trail of records behind me, because
It's not just to leave a trail of records behind you. It is the opportunity to share so that there is knowledge and growth. And I think you have something to give, and I think it's wasted when it's not shared.
yes, but I will share it in my own way and in my own time. Right?
Maybe you won't, because you don't know the future. If you look, tomorrow is never guaranteed, not for anybody, anywhere, at any point in time.
Yes, I know,
So you
but
can't say
what I'm
that
trying
I'm
to
sure that I'm going to do it in the
But
future,
you're not
because all
listening
you've
to
got
me.
is now. I'm listening to you intently. You
I'm
said you're going
saying-
to do it in the future, and I said the future is not guaranteed.
I said that this is not the format that I can share my shit with the world. That's what I said in the first place, you know. This is
Share my
this is
shit.
not a format that I can give something to somebody. I'm not even sure I have something to give somebody out there. I know I have things that I can give to my children. I know that I have things that I can give to my family. I know that I have things that I can give to my employer, right? Or client or whatever he is. But do I have something that I'm giving to the world by talking into the microphone in the morning in my bed while drinking coffee? I don't really think so, you know?
Well, what
I mean,
what is it
have
that you feel that you give to the world?
you have things that I just told you. You have things that you feel that you can give to the world by talking to the microphone, right? That's what you do. That's what you do. That's what you do in your podcast. Like, that's what you do in your coaching. I just don't feel that way about myself. I just don't feel that I'm creating any value whatsoever just by talking into the microphone and expressing my opinions and expressing my values and telling people about, you know, what's happening in my family. That's all nice, and I do that with my friends, but I don't see how it's gonna anybody who's not emotionally involved with me, right? I don't know how it's gonna give them anything, because who cares?
Well,
If you
the
don't
point is that the world reflects your own attitudes to the world. It does that for everybody, right? And the attitude of who cares, well, that's what you'll find. The attitude of who cares finds people that don't care. The same way the attitude of, or the perspective of, I don't know what it is that I have to give, means that you end up giving less than you could give.
I didn't say I don't know what it is that I have to give. I said that I'm giving things every day to people around me that I'm connected to.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I don't know what it is to have to give. I'm just saying that I don't think that I'm giving anything in this way, right? I know that I'm giving stuff every day. And I know what stuff I'm giving. But I don't think this is a part of it, if you know what I mean.
So
I mean, I could
you don't think it
talk
would be
and I can
useful
be-
to share your learning and the experiences with
Well,
kids?
you see, I don't know. I don't know if what I have learned and what my experiences with the kids are valid to share. See,
But
I've been thinking about it
you
a
only know
a
that
lot.
later on. You don't.
Yeah, I know.
You never know that at the time.
Yes, I know.
But if you don't record it at the time, you never have that ability to go back.
Yes, but who am I to share my progress with somebody if I don't know if that progress is going in the right direction?
Okay, well the
You
whole
know?
world is based on that basic principle. The whole world is based
What
on
if
that
people?
basic
What if
principle.
people are listening to me and I'm talking a complete rubbish, right? And I find out in
But
2
they won't-
weeks, or in 2 months, or in 20 years that, oh my gosh, I said it all wrong.
But that's the fear
Mhm.
that I mentioned earlier, which you said you don't have. That's the fear. That's the fear.
It's really just being practical. It's not a fear. It's a realistic. It's knowing that you don't know something well enough to teach it.
But that's a good position to be in. Because that's a good position to be in. Because if you believe that you are a great teacher, but you're not, that's the worst position to be in.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you this entire time. I mean, who am I to who am I to teach people about things that I don't think I know, that I know that I don't know
well, who
enough
is the
about?
you know who is the baker to bake bread? You know, who is the butcher to cut meat? You know, who is the shoemaker to make shoes? It's the fact that as a parent who homeschools, you have a lot of time and energy invested in education and learning and growth.
Yes,
And there's a lot of other people who don't.
but I also have the humility to realize that I'm not. I can be wrong. You know.
And that's one of the best places to start. Because getting over that feeling, which I said was fear earlier, but you say it's not, so okay, I accept the fact that you think it's not. But getting over that feeling is how we take steps forward.
But I don't feel like I want to get over that feeling.
Well, that's a psychological block.
Well, no, it's just not something I want to do.
You don't want to... Okay, what is it you don't want to do? Explain that
I
to
don't
me.
necessarily want to share my progress with the world.
Mhm.
You know?
Um,
I just want to keep it to myself and keep working at it. And there are people who want to share their progress and who help other people. And there's
Mhm.
plenty of those all over the internet that I can learn from, right?
Mhm.
But it's not necessarily something that I want to give back. I can give back other things, you know, in other forms. But this is not
Okay.
necessarily one of those things that I feel like I want to do.
So what is it that you feel like you want to do?
Oh, that's a big question, isn't it?
Yeah, because what I'm saying is that it's not a good idea to stop something if you're not aware of what you're going to replace that thing with, some kind of other...
Well, first of all,
way.
this thing that we're doing right now did not replace anything in the first place, right?
I think it's a continuation of what we did before. I can make a long argument to disagree with that, but I'm not going to do it right now.
What would I replace this with? I would replace this with taking more care of my family for now.
Yeah, but it's only like an hour out of your...
Yeah, I
week.
know, but I told you, it's not just about the time. It's about other things as well. It's basically, it's basically the feeling like, the feeling of, why should anybody listen to me?
Well, that's good, because nobody should.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's good, but that's no reason to not do it. That's like, why should I bake my bread just for myself? Yeah, why not bake it just for yourself? If somebody else wants to have some of your bread, then that's great as well.
Yeah, but the bread has value for myself, right? Because I can
Absolutely.
eat it.
Yes.
But this doesn't really have a value for me, because it's not like the mandala, right?
But knowledge is... like information that's transferred can be accepted or rejected. You never know what's going to be useful for other people. You never know what's going to... I mean, you can say the same thing 1,000 times and it have no effect, and you can say it 1,001 times and suddenly something important registers with people. And I think the point of being on the planet... What's...
Yeah,
That's great. How does it go?
beautiful.
Paw Patrol. That song.
That one. Is that the one that goes, be there on the double?
Yeah.
And what's the next part?
There's a problem.
How does it go?
In Adventure Bay.
Yep, that's right.
Ryder and his friends will come to save the day. Did I just make that up, or does it?
Yeah,
actually-
you did.
I just made that up.
You did.
I should be a lyricist.
Or not.
Screw you.
That's okay.
I'm good at that stuff.
That's okay, Daddy. That's okay. Jessie says.
She said, "That's okay, Daddy."
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to have the affirmation from your
I
children.
love it when she does that. I love it when she's the
I
parent.
know someone else who does that.
I love it when she's the parent.
When kids become the parents.
Yeah.
There
And she
you
goes,
go.
that's okay, that's okay. And when she told your mother off and you... Stop That's enough talking.
She did. It was funny. In the middle of dinner.
Yeah. That's enough talking, guys.
It's time to eat.
Yeah.
Eat your food.
That was so funny. But I love it when she encourages me. You're doing great, Mom.
You are. You're doing great.
That's so
You're
cute.
doing great with the podcast. No, I see. I totally respect your opinion. And in addition to that, I think that the very fact that you have humility and question your own value is what makes what you're saying and your experiences special. Because if you go into it like, I know I've got something to give, and like these people who throw out their great passion of everything, and they dive in 120%, but there's a kind of emptiness behind everything because they're never really able to question their own sense of value properly. I think that's really important. In life, it's very often the people who don't think or feel that they have anything to give who actually have the most. They just haven't realized it yet.
Well, I'm not questioning my value in general. As I said, I think I have value and I think I have things to give, which are two different things, by the way. To have value and to have something to give are two different things. And I feel like we're interchanging them here, but never mind. So I think that's, I said, I think I have a lot of things to give.
You make good bread.
But not in this sitting here chatting, basically. Right?
Yeah, I can see that your perspective on the productivity element is different from my perspective on
Yes,
the productivity
absolutely.
element.
Yes.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, if there's no product, then we'll never know. And
But the product is right there.
what, playing with the cars?
Yeah.
Of course. The important element is right there. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't have to.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 120%. But I respect your opinion and value it enough to not want to lose it and to be able to reflect back upon it. Because very often I don't get that time during the week. So it's very useful for me. Even if you don't find the use in it at all, it is actually really useful for me.
Well, that's why I'm doing it, right? I'm not doing it for myself. I think we should stop now because I really need to eat my muesli. And
You need to eat the muesli.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
And I think I'm gonna need to
Breakfast time.
Engage
Breakfast
with
time.
my daughter as well.
It's very late breakfast in bed.
She did say it's
It
gonna
would've been
take an
easier
hour,
if-
and she wasn't far from
It
true.
would have been easier if A, I had actually gotten up at 5 as I planned.
Uh-huh.
B, if there was actually coffee. And C, I'm not sure what C is.
If it was Saturday every day. It's time to finish.
Meanwhile, the
Things are beginning to move.
the GPs are up
Uh,
and about
yeah.
and doing their shouty thing.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Bye bye.
What time?
I'm
Can I
saying
ask you one more? Yeah, I
saying
know
bye-bye.
you want to say bye-bye. I was going to ask what time everybody went to bed last night.
I don't know. Very late. 11.
Yeah.
11:30.
Yeah.
It's very late.
Yeah. Was I asleep?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah, well, sometimes I'm like having a day, sort of half awake, half asleep. But,
No, you gotta sleep.
I was asleep. I was
Flash
out.
was great. Flash was great. As usual, what were they doing? Doing something dangerous.
I don't know. It was a new series, so I missed the first episode.
Oh, a new character came at the end.
What?
The new character came, Jay Garrick.
Who's that?
Jay Garrick came at the end, and we looked for him in the DC comic, and we only found one mention of the name Jay Garrick,
Yeah.
and it was in the Justice Society of America,
Okay.
which was a group in the Second World War, and it said there was Jay Garrick, aka the Flash. It's a different Flash from the Second World War.
Oh, wow. Well, and when Will was watching the documentary about the DC Comics,
Uh-huh.
there were like different. They changed the characters
Uh-huh.
over time. There were different versions of them. So there's
Yeah.
different versions of the Flash,
Yeah.
and
So it seems like there's a different version of the Flash from the Second World War just entering the series. His name is Jay Garrick. We don't know yet if he's a Flash or not in that series, but that's what the DC comic book said. Yeah.
oh,
Interesting, huh?
what a tangled web!
Interesting.
What a tangled web. Okay, say bye bye to the people.
Bye bye, people.
Bye bye, people. Maybe we'll be back. Maybe not. We'll talk about it.
Oh, and were you there when they killed whales?
What?
Were you there when they killed whales?
They killed Wells.
Yeah.
Oh, was that when the guy shot himself
Yes.
to kill his own legacy or his own
Yes.
family in the future?
Yes.
And
Yes.
very selfless act
Yes.
there.
Yes.
But creating problems in the storyline because how is his fiancée going to forgive the Flash when that guy killed himself? Because she's going to blame the Flash.
She's not blaming the Flash. The Flash is blaming himself. The Flash got a problem because there was a Flash Day and everybody wanted to celebrate the Flash saving the city a year ago. But the Flash says, I didn't do anything. And he didn't really do anything. And Ronnie died. Again.
What?
Ronnie died again.
Ronnie.
Ronnie was the one who fused with the professor and was the fire guy.
He died again.
Yes, he died again because he was saving the Flash and the Flash couldn't do it all by himself in the tornado black hole thing. And so the burning guy kind of like shot up into the sky and helped him.
So it was like him that saved everybody.
So it was really all three of them, right? It was the policeman by shooting himself, and it was the fire guy by helping Flash to save the day. And then he fell out of the sky, and the Flash ran and caught him and brought him to the sidewalk, set him down. But it was the old professor. It wasn't Ronnie. Right, so he only saved the old professor. He didn't save Ronnie. Wow. So now he's got huge problems. Oh, and his dad is out of the prison.
Oh, okay.
Because a lawyer came and he said H.G. Wells, left this tape for you, and he said I don't want to watch it. And then he went to Iris, and then they watched it together. And on the tape there was Wells saying the full confession about killing his mother. It was like, this is going to be my prison for you or something, whatever. And so they released his father, so his father's out of prison.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think like that story is complicated, or do you think real life is more complicated?
I don't think real life is complicated.
No.
Yeah.
It's just like that storyline is just kind of complicated.
The storyline is quite complicated, yes. Go put the Super Pups on.
Hooray! Put through the Super Pups!
I can't disagree with that as an option. Absolutely not.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, everybody. Take care. We might or might not return.